Okay, Kelly, I think we're connected now.
All right.
Let me just double check just to make sure. So much is going on. All right, yep, we're connected. There we go. Okay. All right, so let me share my screen.
All right.
Get on the right screen and then share my screen. There we go.
Hmm.
Nothing like being on the wrong screen. Okay, let me hide this. Okay, this is Nicole Whitlock and Kelly Ward with the Poshmark and Macari Workshop Part 2. I'm Nicole Whitlock, and the other lady on the other end is Miss Kelly Ward. She's amazing, guys. Trust me when I say that. All right, so what so what we're going to be doing is in part one, we covered Macari and we covered all things Macari. We went through the Macari app, installing it, how to create a listing. We went through the fees. We talked about how to get paid. We also told you which products you can and cannot sell on Macari. We went through how to ship items to your customers when they buy them and how to handle returns. So today's activity is all things Poshmark. So we're going to be talking about how to install the app, how to create a listing. We're going to talk about the fees and how to get paid. We're also going to talk about products you can and cannot sell on Poshmark. Talk about shipping and handling returns. All right. So, Kelly, do you want to take this? You want me to take it?
I'll take this one.
Okay.
The Poshmark has been was launched in 2011, but really kind of exploded more like 2015, 2016, and it's a more social commerce marketplace than like say eBay or Amazon. It's more social. You can sell used clothes. We're gonna go over more in depth what you can sell, but it started out with used clothes, shoes, and accessories. There's over 4 million sellers on the website, on the app and website. For a while, it was just the app, but then they added the website. And there's over 60 million members over the United States and Canada. There is a separate Poshmark.ca for Canadians. But like I said, Poshmark started with clothes, makeups, and accessories, has grown to include some home goods and holiday items.
Okay. All right. So, downloading the Poshmark app, you're just going to go to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can search for Poshmark. As you can see, it's sort of a maroon colored, looks like two upside down peas to me, or a link chain, depends on how you see it. And it's over here in the corner. And once you can click on install and then open it, and that's how you go through the process of installing the app. Then once you install the app, it's going to ask you to log in. And so your first login screen is going to be this one. You can choose to log in with an email, like create an account, set up one. Or if you already have an existing account, let's say you use the desktop version, so you can log in with that email. And or you can use your existing um, Facebook or Google login. And then it will take you through a couple of different things. It's going to ask you some questions about yourself and what your preferences are. And after you establish those preferences, because it wants to know, like Kelly said, it's a social platform, then you're going to default to the feed page. And so this is the feed page. And what you'll see at the bottom of the feed, at the bottom of this, is that you have the option of feed, shop, sell, news, and again, your account. So these two first ones are pretty much like the feed. And so what I indicated I like is Nike. So it rotates, and it showed me initially this was the default, and then it rotated again to show me Nike. And then after that, if I went over to the shop, again, it's going to show me my preferences that I chose. So the things that I like, then I can get search from there, or you can search whatever you want. But again, that's all based on when you first set it up. You first go into the app. Then the next thing is the news. And so this is the news. This is telling me all the people who have followed me. But what I wanted to point out was up at the top. I want you to notice that, okay, you have all news, you have comments. So if you have a listing, then you have some comments there. You can go take a look at that. Offers, orders. And so you'll see those. And then from offers and orders, you have likes. Maybe some people liked your listing. Bundles, stories, and share. So bundle, stories, and share. Again, this would be, something that was posted, something you want to share. And then follows. So these are people that you follow, and then your account. You can go in and look at your account. When you pull up your account information, you're going to see a few things here. We're going to go into a little more detail on some of these. But of course, refer people and you can get paid cash. You can find your friends so they can follow you, can follow them. My closet, my draft. So if you create a draft listing, you'll find them there. Anything that you've liked, your offers, any of your bundles that you created or that you like, and then recent views, anything that I pulled up recently, my profile stuff. I want to edit my profile, add an image, whatever it may be. My size, again, I'm probably not ever going to fill that in, but anyway, so my size of the clothes that I like. And I mean, because I really am looking at stuff for my kids. So my purchases and payment methods. So again, if I'm going to go in and update anything, I could put in the payment methods. And then as I go on, my addresses, where I want things shipped, my sales, my balance, my Poshmark stats, my seller tools. Again, this is all under the little icon about me. And then this is all the scroll down from there. My share settings, my notifications if I want to log out. And then if I need to get in touch with Poshmark support, it's right here, Poshmark status of my account, and then frequently asked questions and about Poshmark. So privacy policy. So again, when you go into your account, this is a lot of stuff. It's more than what you would typically see, like what you would see for Mercari or some of the other apps that are out there. And again, like Kelly said, it is more of a social sharing type of platform. Is there anything else you want to add to that, Kelly?
Just when it says like your size and stuff, anytime you search, it'll automatically search for your size.
Yep.
So if you're searching for, if you put inside that you wear size 12 pants and you search for jeans, it'll put, and you pull up, maybe you look for, I don't know, I'm not good with jeans. I'm just Old Navy jeans. You pull
Okay.
up Navy jeans and it'll pull up all Old Navy jeans in your size, but you're not having, but if you want to say you're pricing an item, you can go in and under that search, take off my size so you can look at the prices for all sizes, and you can go under your search and look for solds so you can see what it's selling for, so you know how to price your items. Because on Poshmark you can usually get a little bit more than you can on eBay for your items.
Yep, that's absolutely true. So yeah, populating the information or giving it more information is going to help you. Since I'm buying for more than just myself, then I will keep that probably blank for right now. Okay. All right. So Kelly, do you want to take this?
I'll take this. So what can you sell on Poshmark? Obviously your clothes, new and used, men's, women's, kids, maternity clothes are their main, clothing. I mean, there's nothing really else clothes. Accessories like hats, belts, that kind of stuff. Makeup, new only, never been open makeup. Boutique is more like wholesale, nude items. They do have a place on Poshmark where you can go and buy stuff wholesale to sell in your boutiques. But your thing is, everyone else on Poshmark has that same area where they can go and buy stuff for a boutique. And next thing you know, you're going against, hundreds of other people have that same stuff. Your purse, purses and bags. And then they recently, I think it was last year, they started adding select home goods. So like bath and bedding, kitchen accessories, accents like throw pillows and blankets, holiday items like ornaments and office supplies and wall decor, and there's a couple other. I didn't want to run out of space, but those are what you can sell in Poshmark. What you cannot sell: illegal items, fakes, and replicas. So they, with a lot of the higher end stuff, like your Louis Vuitton bags and stuff, you can get them authenticated through Poshmark. Products made from threatened or extinct species, anything requiring prescription, medical products, items that misrepresent the Native American arts and crafts, or stolen items are, what you cannot sell on Poshmark.
All right.
So listing an item, it's quite pretty simple to do. We're gonna list this pair of Page jeans I had. I quickly grabbed them today and through, so we can see how to do a listing. So on the menu bar in the bottom, have that little red arrow pointing to the cell. You tap on the cell on your phone. And you select the pictures of the item. So you already have your pictures taken. You want to make sure you have I always have my pictures taken. I already have my measurements done on my item. And when you're taking your pictures on your camera, make sure it's on 1:1 mode. So it makes a square picture, because that's what Poshmark wants for their photos. They want those square pictures, because that's how it fits on the app. And you want to make sure that there's editing. It's all done prior to your listing. If they need to be rotated and stuff, because you can't do that in the app. You can only crop a little bit in the app. You can't rotate them. So if you didn't have your camera correctly right, and when you look it up on your phone and everything's faced upside down or on the side, you need to make sure that you go ahead and get that rotated correctly before you start listing. So you want to go ahead and choose the pictures, and they'll ask you to choose your the cover shot, which will be the first picture, the one that everyone sees before they go into the listing. So next slide. So after you've done your pictures, then you title your item. I think you get maybe 50 characters, 50, 60 characters to title your item. So you can see I have my title in the listing over here. I have Page, and I put the Laurel Canyon because Page has their names of their certain types of jeans. So people like to have their certain types. So I make sure I want to include that name in that jean. I have the Page Laurel Canyon jeans and size, and then I have 30 by 33 because that's how Page does their jeans. They do it by those numbers. And then dark wash for someone who maybe like to look for a dark wash. You want to make sure brand, your type of clothes, your size, and your keyword into your title. Next, you want to do your description. I kind of have like a little template in my description. I just put my Page Laurel Canyon jean, and then next I have cut is a boot cut. So there's boot cut jeans, skinny jeans. So you want to make sure you kind of have like a little template for any of your clothes. T-shirt, maybe it's a blouse. So you could put what kind of shirt it is. Make a little template for each type of clothing. Then have like what the rise is. That's how far it goes up on your tummy. Is it low rise, high rise? Dark wash, light wash. Then I do a slightly little description so I can say if there's any flaws or not. This one's in really good condition. So I said it's gently used and has no noted stains or damage. Then I set the size and my measurements. Always measure your clothes, because my size 12 in one company's brand is not a size 12 in another company's brand. So you want to make sure that you have those measurements, especially in Poshmark, because your buyer cannot return for fit if it doesn't fit right. So they want to make sure that this is going to fit them. So you want to make sure you have a good description. Then you'll choose your category. You want to choose, make sure you put it under women's jeans, and then they'll have a subcategory where you can put it's jeans and it's boot cut. It goes into boot cut jeans or it goes into skinny jeans. So it breaks it down so it can really filter to where when someone's shopping, they can look at just the boot cut jeans. Um, then the quantity. Usually, if you're a reseller and you only have one, it's one. But if you have a boutique, maybe you have 10. So you want to put how many you have in stock. Size, you want to say what's the size, and the brand. They'll ask for the brand. Next slide. Okay, and then you can choose colors. Like I is blue jeans. I put blue. Then there's pricing. Original price, you can put the price that they sell it for at the stores. I just looked at what other people were putting. They said 100, like between 190 to $200. So I put 189, and then my listing price of 27. And underneath, you can see it automatically put what your earnings will be if it sells. So Poshmark fees are for sales under $15. There's a flat fee rate of $2.95. For sales above $15, the fee is 20%, and you keep 80%. So the fees are a little bit higher than eBay, but if you're selling it for a little bit more, you might make more. And plus, you're not paying for shipping on Poshmark, so that's a good thing. So
Go ahead.
I forgot to say, once you priced it, you just hit next, and then you hit list, and it lists, and you can have it automatically shared to Pinterest, Twitter. If you have a Facebook page set up for your Poshmark, you can have it, it automatically share it to there. So sharing, because it's a social site, you have followers, and you can share your items to your followers, and usually you want to do this a couple times a day. So you can, there's a on your listing, there'll be a little share symbol, and you just tap on the share, and it will just share it to your followers. Or if there's a party going on at the time and your item qualifies for that party, you'll share it to that party. You can also share your favorite listings from your followers to your followers. So if Nicole followed me, I can go to Nicole's closet and share something from hers to people who follow me. So, and then people can go and follow Nicole because they saw, oh, I like her stuff. I'm going to go to Nicole's store. And many sellers will share their whole closet multiple times a day. Sometimes they hire people to share for them. So it's a good reason to have a VA maybe to do is share your closets. And you can also share your stuff to Poshmark parties, and you can have them be a pick at the party. Is like the host really likes it, so they're gonna pick it. Then that doesn't mean they'll buy it, but it's just like a special thing for being, the best thing that they like that out of everything being shared at the party. The parties are kind of like shopping events where sellers and buyers meet up and on the Poshmark app, and they share their items, and people can buy. And every day they have 4 parties, and it goes at 9 a.m. It's a brand party, so like it would be like a sports brand like Nike, Adidas, and Reebok party, and you can only share items that fall into that criteria. And you can look under the party, it'll tell you what brands you can show under that. And then at noon, they do like a category party. You can look at jeans or tops or dresses. That's at noon. They last about 2 hours, I believe. You have a 2-hour block to share. At 4 p.m., it's a department party, like men's department, kids department, maternity department, home department, where you can share certain departments. And 7 p.m. is a style party, like street style, trendsetter, etc. So, and these parties are hosted by people who are Poshmark ambassadors. A Poshmark ambassador, you have to meet certain qualifications to become an ambassador. You have to have so many shares, so many sales, so many, you have to meet the certain criteria to be a Poshmark ambassador, and then you can apply to host a party. Now for shipping on Poshmark is incredibly easy. Especially if you've been shipping on eBay or Amazon, it's so easy. The seller pays for shipping every time. You don't have to pay for shipping. Shipping is $7.11 for everything under 5 pounds. Anything above 5 pounds, you have to ask for a different label. You can do that in your app. But basically anything 5 pounds and under, $7.11. They got a great deal going on with the post office. Unless you give a discounted rate with an offer. If you send a bunch of people like your stuff, you send an offer to likers and give them, a 10% discount plus half. I think it's $4.99 shipping instead of $7.11. Then that difference comes from your earnings from the difference of $4.99 to $7.11. Poshmark will send you a label to your email. They'll send a PDF of that label to the customer, of the shipping label to your customer in your email. You just print it off. You pack your item. Some people do it real fancy where they have it all in pretty color bags, or they have it wrapped up in pretty color tissue paper with ribbons and thank you cards. So some people want that, some people don't. However you want to do your business, that's how you do it. I usually do it, put it in a poly bag, and I put a thank you card. And that helps get good ratings. You want to make sure you get a good rating from your buyer. You can use the free priority mailboxes, even if they're flat rates. Some post offices will fight you on it, but it says right on the Poshmark label that you're able to do that. So you can use the free priority mailboxes or the envelopes, like the padded flat rates. I use those like crazy. And then you can just drop your item off at the post office or schedule a pickup from the post office.
All right. So I do want to say something about bullet number 1. I think we mean buyer pays for the shipping.
Oh, buyer, sorry.
Yeah, so the first bullet, sorry, the buyer pays for the shipping. So all the shipping is paid for by the buyer. And so that's what Kelly means, is you don't have to pay anything as a seller. The buyer has to pay this. So, okay. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
So how do you get paid? Your earnings are released to you after the buyer accepts your item. So after it gets sent to them, and they have 3 days to accept your item. That gives them time to look it over, make sure that, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. So they have 3 days to accept the item. If they don't accept it after 3 days, if they just forget to or whatever, then the funds are automatically released to you. And you can choose to have your balance, because it sits in your account and your balance. You can choose to have your balance sent to you to your bank via direct deposit, or they'll send you a check. So on your app, you go to your account, go to my balance, and your pending amount. Your pending amount is like maybe you have 3 sales that haven't been accepted yet, but you have 10 sales that have been, and you can redeem the 10 sales that have already been accepted because the other amount is just pending. And you choose how you want your earnings sent to you via the direct deposit or a check. Okay. Handling returns. Like Mercari, it's not very easy to get returns on Poshmark. I think I've been selling Poshmark for 3 years. I've done 1 return because I didn't see a hole in a pocket. But the buyer has 3 days to inspect the item. Once the buyer has accepted the item, the sale is final. So it's been 3 days. They said, okay. And then 5 days later, they're like, oh, I didn't see this hole. Well, too bad. They've already, sales final. They can't do any returns. The reasons that an item can be returned is undisclosed damage, incorrect or missing item. Maybe you sent them the wrong shirt. Item not as described, or it's not authentic. So Poshmark will provide the label to the buyer and then refund that pending payment to the buyer. Reasons that are not covered for returns: if the item doesn't fit, or they're just have buyer's remorse and change their mind, those are not covered for returns. Now, the buyer can cancel an item, but they only have 3 hours from the time of purchase to cancel the order. So they can't go a day after they bought something and said, oh, my little child was playing on my phone and he ordered that $300 jacket. I don't want no more. No, sorry. You had 3 hours. Don't let your little kids play on your phone.
Okay. So much like many of the other platforms, we know that there's integration that's available to you, even though we don't see on this image, we don't see the words Poshmark, but just know that there is an integration for Poshmark. And these 3 tools, and there's a few others that you can use to cross list your items from Poshmark onto other platforms, or to take your items from other platforms and push them over to Poshmark. So these are the 3 that we initially recommend. So if you want to push items over to eBay, or if you want to take your eBay listings and push them over to Poshmark, this is a great way to do it, a great opportunity to do it. One of the tools that has the most, I guess, integrations that I've seen recently is List Perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It has the most integration, so you can push your listings everywhere. And the reason you would want to potentially look at a tool to be able to push your listings everywhere is because of the fact that, and also to be able to manage that integration, but is because of the fact that customers are everywhere on the internet now. There's no loyalty to a specific store or to a specific brand. If I can get a pair of Nikes somewhere else for a lower price, I'm going to go where I can potentially find them. Or if it's the ones that I want, and maybe because I have 20 apps or 30 apps or 50 apps on my phone, I'm looking for these Nikes everywhere. So you want to make sure that your listings are everywhere, that they're findable, real word, and that you're cross listing when you have the opportunity. And if you decide you're not going to buy a tool, at least use the social sharing options that are inside of the Poshmark app to be able to share it that way as well. Give yourself the opportunity to get as many eyes as possible on your listing, thereby making it easier for your listing, your products to sell or to sell faster. The more places that people can find it, the higher the chances that it will sell faster. If you just list on Poshmark and it's been there for 6 months or something, you're like, I'm not getting any sales. I'm not getting any traction on Poshmark. You have to do all that you can do to put your product in front of as many people as possible.
So many times I've heard of people said, I had that item listed on eBay for 7 months, and then I listed over on this site. I cross listed over on this site, and it sold within 2 days. So you never know where you're gonna get your buyers from.
That's correct. Buyers are not loyal to one specific platform or one specific tool or one specific app. So just remember that. So today we went through, and Kelly did most of it, so thank you, Kelly, for being amazing. But we talked about understanding Poshmark, when it originated, which she gave some great stats and statistics about that. We talked about installing the app and creating a listing. We talked about the fees and how to get paid. And then we also talked about what you can sell and how you ship to your customers. And then also customer service and returns. We do recommend that when you ship your items to your customer, you put a little card in there and make it personalized. And that way you can get that buyer feedback. So we do want to know what questions you have for us today. Was this information helpful to you? We hope that it was. We hope that all of the trainings that you get from eCom sellers are helpful. So the next thing I want to mention is that we do have a live Q&A, and the live Q&A is actually in
15 minutes.
15 minutes. So if you do have questions that you want to get answered, you can jump on the live Q&A. Otherwise, you can always submit a question to ecomsellersacademy@gmail.com or either support@ecomsellersacademy.com. And if you're not an Academy member and you're watching this on a replay somewhere, then you're always welcome to join the Academy. You just can go to www.ecomsellersacademy.com and click the join button. And the membership is $17.99 a month. So we're here to help. There's so many different perks that we offer as part of the Academy. And one of them happens to be our live weekly trainings. So thank you so much for joining us today. Kelly, is there anything else you want to add?
If you're looking for a cheap way for thank you cards, Dollar Store has thank you cards in 8-packs. So
yeah, they do. You can also buy them online as well. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us for tonight's training, the eCom Sellers Academy Poshmark Mercari training. And we are going to say goodbye for now.
good night.